I have ADHD, but I wasn't diagnosed until my 30s. So I thought it'd be fun to start a little series, like just saying like things that I didn't know were ADHD, and now I know. I thought it would just be like something really fun to do, like while I do my makeup, because I was actually just thinking about it this morning, and the one that I was going to talk about today is energy levels. I never understood why one day I'm super bubbly, like I want to talk to everybody, I want to like introduce myself to everybody, like blah, and then all of a sudden the next day I'm like tired, ran down. Like, this is actually gonna sound like almost stuck up to say, but like there are days where like I just don't even want to use my voice, and like that literally makes me sound like a stuck up, like, oh, I need to rest my voice. Like, I don't even know how to actually describe it though. Like, it's literally just like the sensation of like not using my voice feels good. Like, I don't know. And like obviously I don't just not use my voice for the day. Like, I obviously do talk to people, but like on a day like that, I'd be more inclined to be like, I'm gonna like, you know, not go and like hang out with friends. And I always thought like, man, there was something wrong with me, because like one day I want to be friends with everybody, and then the next day like they almost annoy me, like people, and it's not just specific people, like it's just everybody. So I always thought like, man, like I am just a bitch, or there's just something like really wrong with me. And I never actually understood that it was actually just ADHD burnout, that the ADHD is making me like too hyper on those days where I'm like super bubbly. So then the next day I crash because I've literally just used up all my social energy for the week on like a Monday, and then I'll go like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like literally just feeling like blah and like burned out. Has always affected friendships, because some days I'm like the super bubbly, like let's hang out and get coffee, and then the next day I'm like, I can't even answer your text message because that just sounds like too much work, right? So like it has 100% affected friendships in the past, and especially too, like I was always really embarrassed to like say what was wrong. So like a lot of times I would just kind of like ghost people when I was on those like down dips, and I just thought there was something wrong with me. Like I was like, wow, like why am I such a mean person? Like, why are some days I'm so like bubbly and like, you know, fun to be around, and then the next day it's like I can't even like, you know, fathom being like that bubbly. And like I always just thought like, man, like I'm just so mean. I would tell other people about it and they're like, no, like I don't get that feeling. Like maybe during a party. One thing I can actually relate it to is like, you know, if you're hosting a holiday party, like you always hear people after the fact be like, okay, like I don't want to talk to anybody again until after the New Year's, because I'm just tapped out, right? Because like they've just hosted so many people, they've just done so many like social events, like they're just tapped out. That's how I feel, but like all year long. Like that is actually a really good like way to describe it, is that is truly how it feels when you have ADHD, is like just hanging out with somebody. It literally feels like, okay, I just hosted like a holiday party, like the same kind of social energy, right? And then you're like tapped out and it's like, okay, like now I can't socialize for like a few days now. But like it's not always like that. Like sometimes it would be weeks. Like sometimes I would go like a week where I'm super bubbly, and then all of a sudden the next week I'm like, so then like you beat yourself up about it because you feel like what's wrong with me? Like especially too is it always seems to fall when you have plans, you know, like you have something planned and like you're really excited to do it, but then it lands on a day where you're like, oh my god, I have no social energy, like I cannot do this. Like for example, I was supposed to go to a girls' day a weekends ago. I was so excited like all week about it. I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to go to this girls' day, like I need it so badly, I cannot wait to get out of the house. Saturday comes and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like the thought of like having to like talk to people all night long and like, you know, like socialize, I was like, this just like, it almost makes me feel like anxious. Like it's like, oh my god, like I just can't do it. Like it seems like it would be like a massive like thing to do, when like really, like if you don't have ADHD you probably think I'm crazy. Like, huh? Like what do you mean it's a lot to do to just talk to somebody? Like it's not a lot to do to just talk to somebody, but it's like it really is. Like it's the like, I don't know, I guess it's like all the sensory input and like just everything, and then like having to think about like what you're gonna say, because like I'm the kind of person that always worries about like if I'm gonna say something silly or like, I don't know, it's just, it's a lot, I guess, socializing. I know I personally feel like quite alone sometimes, so I thought it would just be like really fun to just like start this video series where, you know, kind of like make it humorous, like, oh, things that I used to just think were quirks about me but ended up being ADHD, because I feel like a lot of people will relate to this, especially women, because a lot of us don't get diagnosed until we're in motherhood and struggling and realize like, oh, we've actually had ADHD this entire time. And then you kind of start to pick away your personality and go like, oh, whereas I think it would be completely different. Like if you were diagnosed as a child, you would obviously be very hyper aware of like, okay, I have ADHD. So it's kind of interesting like to be on the other side of it, whereas like I didn't know I did, but now that I know I did, I'm like, it was clear as day. Like it was literally clear as day. Like I just thought it would be fun to kind of like do this and like you know, keep positive spirits about it, because I know for me, I definitely, like today was one of those days where I just wanted to crash and be like, I have no energy, and then I wanted to cry and be like, what is wrong with me? And it's like, no, let's go put on some makeup, let's chat, let's bring ourselves back up, because even though we're not in the mood to like, yay, like let's chat to everybody, doesn't mean that we need to isolate ourselves, right? Because I kind of do that as well, as like days where I'm like, oh, I don't really feel chatty. Like I isolate myself because I feel like, oh, like I'm going to come across as like a bitch to other people. But I'm realizing like you don't need to isolate yourself on days that you're not super chatty. You can literally just explain to people, I'm just not super chatty today. I'm not angry with you. It's nothing to do with you. And like move on. So that is something too that I'm learning to kind of like advocate for myself. And like, you know, whereas before I would just sit at home because I'd be like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a bitch. I've learned that like, no, you can actually just use your words and say like, hey, the reason I'm not chatty today is on me, not on you. And if they're your friend, obviously they're gonna be like, that's fine, like I just want to chill with you, right? So that is something that I am learning. But anyway, this video is now going to be super long because in ADHD fashion, I just chatted and chatted and chatted. So I'm going to cut it off here and I will see you guys in the next one.